So we got to 4 columns. This is what we call the 4 columns. We have the first column is the I, you, he, she, it, we, you, they. Second column of the pronouns is me, you, him, her, it, us, you, them. Third column, my, your, his, her, its, our, your, their. Fourth column, mine, yours, his, hers, its, ours, yours, theirs. Okay, so first column is the subject pronouns. So column number 1, subject pronouns. So they are the ones that usually start the sentence. I am going with you. I am going with him. I am going with her. I am going with it, with us, with you. And then he is going with me. She is going with me. So those are the ones in the first column. The subject pronouns are the ones that are acting in the sentence. The object pronouns, pronomes de objeto, those are the ones that are receiving the action. So if I go with her, then I am acting, I am going, and she is receiving the action. I am going with who? With her. So she is receiving the action. So column 1, subject pronouns, they are the actors. Column 2, object pronouns are the pronouns that receive the action. And we need to remember that there's a lot of confusion here because of this one. Her and her. Her is an object pronoun and is a possessive adjective. Okay, which is the third column are the possessive adjectives. The possessive adjectives are the ones that we put in front of nouns. So my car, your car, his car, her car, its car, our car, your car, their car. These are not pronouns. These are adjectives. They go in front of nouns. Okay. Is that your car? Is that his car? Is that her car? So third column are the possessive adjectives. The fourth column is the column that we use the least. We use this the least. It's the possessive pronouns, or pronomes possessivos. So these are also pronouns, and they take the place of a noun. So instead of saying, that car is my car, we say, that car is mine. That car is mine. Okay. So in that case, I use the possessive pronoun so that I don't have to repeat car. That car is mine. Whose car is that? De quem é aquele carro? That car is hers, instead of saying that car is her car. Okay. Or I can say it's hers, even. I can just say it's hers. É dela. So sometimes we have confusion here because of her and her. Her is an object pronoun, so I go with her, and her is also an adjective, a possessive adjective. So I go with her in her car. I go with her in her car. The first one is the object pronoun. The second one is the possessive adjective. And then the other one that causes confusion is here, his and his. Okay. So it's his car. The car is his. It's his car. The car is his. These are the same. Like her and her are the same. His and his are also the same. We don't change from possessive adjective to possessive pronoun. Okay. So that's where we got to last week. Any questions on that? Feel free to open up your microphone if you have a question. Okay. So the 4 columns are the subject pronouns, object pronouns, possessive adjectives, and possessive pronouns. Let's talk about também. So we have seen before that we use to, also, and as well. The most common is to. She wants to go to. Ela quer ir também, ou ela também quer ir. We would translate them both as to, because to we put at the end. She also wants to go. So also, most of the time, we put after the subject, more at the beginning of the sentence. and she wants to go as well. So then we use as well at the end as well. So those are the three uses, or the three ways that we say também in statements, in afirmações, okay? But when we have negative sentences, we do not use to, also, and as well. That's what the rule says. The rule says we don't use to, also, and as well when we have negative sentences. Okay, but although some native speakers do, but we're supposed to use either or neither. When we have negative sentences, we should use either or neither. When do we use either? She doesn't want to go either. So we can see here we have a negative. So neither is considered negative. In fact, neither is negative. Okay, so that's how we can remember. Neither is negative, so we can't have it with another negative. Aquela regrinha tem que ter, não pode ter duas negações, right? So neither é considerado uma palavra negativa. Either is considered a positive word. Mesmo que nós só usemos em frase negativa, é considerado uma palavra positiva. So we can use either with doesn't, but we cannot use neither with doesn't. We cannot say she doesn't want to go neither. It's wrong. But we can say neither does she. Neither does she is what we translate as nem ela. Okay, so I don't want to go. Neither does she. Eu não quero ir. Nem ela. Ou ela também não. Okay, so neither does she. She doesn't want to go either, neither does she. So we have five different ways to say também. We have three in a positive sentence, in a statement, to, also, and as well. And we have two more that we use in negative sentences, either and neither. And then how can we remember? We can remember because neither is negative, so we don't use it if we have don't or can't or wouldn't or any of the other not or whatever. We won't use the word neither. We will use the word either. Any questions about that?
Na verdade, eu tenho, professor, porque
Go
eu
for it.
me confundo muito com isso, desculpa, acabei
No problem.
me desconcentrando. Mas esses either e neither, tudo bem, mas por que esse neither está na frente e não pode ser usado no final? Não pode, né? O neither.
Yeah, well, right, because
Não 100%, tá.
No, if you put she at the beginning, then you're going to have to put she. What?
Neither.
She,
No?
yeah.
No.
Yeah, because you need you need the does. Yeah, exactly. You need the does.
Então, o neither, ele pede auxiliar junto, não?
Yeah.
E a gente fala me neither é uma expressão prontinha,
okay,
né?
yeah.
Pra dizer
So,
que não...
Yeah.
Não queria entrar nesse assunto, mas
let's not say that neither needs it doesn't have to have an auxiliary verb. It doesn't have to have an auxiliary verb. But like you say, there does exist the me neither, him neither. Sounds very strange.
I would neither do I.
Yeah,
no,
neither. Yeah, neither do I.
Me neither.
Me neither.
Neither do I já existe também.
Yeah, neither do I would be this form here. Neither do I because.
Mas o me neither não tem o.
Right, but if you say me neither, if you test it with the other ones, me neither, her neither, or she neither, it sounds very strange. I think that I agree with you that me neither is an expression that we can use because it doesn't seem like it's a form that works for the other ones. To say me neither, her neither, him neither, I think it's possible, but it's not used. But me neither is used a lot. So this it's simply this is the form of the grammar. Neither does she, neither do we, neither does he. You can use me neither, but it sounds extremely strange to use any of the others, her neither or him neither or any of the others. So let's talk about the algemas. So these are 5 words that start with AL that many of my students have problems with. They have problems remembering the difference between them. So one of my students said these all words are like algemas. They make it difficult to have the freedom to communicate or something like that. Anyway, almost is quasi. Always, sempre. Already, já. Also, também. And all right, tudo bem. Tá bom, tudo bem. Okay. All right can also be written ALL space right. So there are 2 different ways to write all right. But just note these down because these are words that are often confused. Almost, always, already, also, all right. And I have a new video about this where I put them into a text to try and also make it easier to remember. Okay, now we're going to talk now about what I call the vocabulary of North American parents, especially North American moms, because this is what my mom used with me a lot. Right now. Okay, right now is not just now. Now I saw agora, é agora mesmo. Okay, right now, agora mesmo. Right here, aqui mesmo, ou bem aqui. Right here, right now. So my mom would yell, come here, right here. She would say, right here, right now. So we use right here. This is another meaning of right when we want to say mesmo, ou bem aqui, ou aqui mesmo. Right here, right now, right there. Okay, bem ali. We also have right away, which is something that's used a lot in restaurants when you want to say agora mesmo, right away. I will do that right away. Okay, so another expression that we have for agora mesmo, right away. We've talked a little bit about to or for. When we have para, do we use to or for? To we usually use if there's movement. Okay, so I'm going to give a dog to you. I'm going to give you a dog, or I'm going to give a dog to you. The dog is moving from me to you. I'm going to send an email to you. The email is going from me to you. For is usually por ou a favor. So I'm going to give a dog to Emily for Glacy. So Glacy wants to give Emily a dog, but I'm going to give Emily a dog for Glacy. So o cachorro vai para Emily, the dog is going to Emily, but eu estou fazendo a favor da Glacy. So I'm doing it for Glacy. That's in general. So it's not perfect. There are some exceptions. For example, buy. I always buy something for someone, not to someone. And the way to remember is why buy to someone when you can buy for someone? Eu vou comprar por alguém, eu vou comprar 4 para alguém em vez de comprar só 2. So I buy something for someone. But in general, we use to when it's movement and for when it is either por or a favor. To say infelizmente, this is one of the one of my students' favorite words because it's hard to say, but then once you get it, you feel very proud of yourself. Like Glacy, for example. Glacy now can say infelizmente, and she's proud of herself every time she says infelizmente. So infelizmente is unfortunately, everybody, unfortunately. Let's repeat, unfortunately. So unfortunately is unfortunately, okay? And the stressed syllable is for, unfortunately, which is desafortunadamente, literally. Okay, so we don't say infelizmente would be unhappily, but unhappily we use for something to say, for example, someone is unhappily married, infeliz no casamento, or It's not, we don't use it in the same way that we use infelizmente in Portuguese because we use unfortunately. Desafortunadamente. So and here, unfortunately. Laura, how do you say infelizmente?
Unfortunately.
Good. Nonato?
Unfortunately.
Se lembra aquela lá atrás, primeira vez que eu vim para o Brasil, 1996, teve aquela música horrorosa. Right? Unfortunately. Yeah. So, tem chan, mas a sílaba tônica ainda é for. So, unfortunately. Chunnutly. Chunnut. There you go. There you go. That's good. Nice job. Let's go, Glaci. Unfortunately, I know you know how to say it.
Unfortunately. Agora não vai sair, né?
No,
Porque
that was like a native. That's good. Jose, unfortunately.
Unfortunately.
Very nice. Very good. Okay, so there we go. Unfortunately. How long? So let's talk about two different things that we have when we talk about how long. How long have you lived there? How long have you lived there? Quanto tempo você mora ali? Ou lá? Ou aí? How long have you lived there? So we have two different possible answers. I have lived here, or I have lived here since 2014. This is true. I have lived in Palmas since 2014. I have lived here for 7 years. So these two answers give you basically the same information. These two answers give you basically the same information, but the focus is different. The focus is different in these two answers. How? Because when we use for, the focus is on how much time has passed. If I say I have lived here for 7 years, then we're talking about the time that has passed. Okay. If I say since, the focus is on when it started. I have lived here since 2014. So then the focus isn't how long. I have to do math, right? I have to count 2014, 15, 16, 17. I have to count in order to know how much time has passed, because the focus then is the beginning, the start of when the thing happened, and not how much time has passed. That's the difference if we use for or since. And why do we do this? Sometimes we don't know how long, right? If someone says, for example, I have worn glasses since I was a kid. I have worn glasses since I was a kid. I don't know when I started. Actually, I do. I was 14. But if I didn't know when I started, I can't say for 30 years, for 35 years, because I don't remember when it started. So I have to say since I was a kid, desde que eu era criança. I don't know how much time, so then I have to use since if I know when it started. Or maybe I don't know exactly the year or the date or whatever, and I can say for about 10 years or something like that. So there are different times when we need to use for, different times when we need to use since, and then there are times when we want the focus to be how much time has passed, or other times when we want the focus to be when the thing started. So até amanhã, we have the expression see you tomorrow, which ends up, we have see you tomorrow is the full expression. We have the reduction, which is see ya tomorrow. And then the additional one more reduction, which is see ya, just see ya. Okay, so see ya tomorrow, or just see ya. They all could be translated as até amanhã. But we also have the literal until tomorrow, which is literally até amanhã, not the expression until tomorrow. It sounds a little weird to say bye until tomorrow. I mean, it's possible, but it's not as common as the expression see you tomorrow. So, for example, using the literal until tomorrow, I'm going to sleep until tomorrow. Vou dormir até amanhã. Okay, which is normal if you go to bed at night. But if you are really tired and you go to bed at 5 p.m. and then you say, I'm going to sleep until tomorrow. I'm so tired. So I'm going to sleep until tomorrow. Até amanhã. With until tomorrow, we have até amanhã. I'm going to finish tomorrow. Okay, so we have two possibilities here. I'm going to finish tomorrow. By tomorrow, then we have antes de amanhã. I'm going to finish by tomorrow. Okay, and actually what I wanted to say here is I'm going to do it until tomorrow. So I'm going to do something until tomorrow. Eu vou parar amanhã. Okay, I'm doing something now and then I'm going to stop tomorrow. By tomorrow means I'm going to finish something before tomorrow. If I use by tomorrow, I need you to call me by tomorrow. Significa quando chegar amanhã, essa coisa já tem que ser feita. Here, eu já estou agindo, fazendo alguma coisa e vou parar amanhã. E aqui, a coisa que está acontecendo tem que ser terminado antes de amanhã. When we talk about have time, now tivemos tempo. Who can help me with this? Let's see. Let's go, Laura. How do you think we would say não tivemos tempo?
We don't have time.
We don't have time. Is that past, present, or future?
É presente.
Presente.
Não.
Aqui é presente?
Não, é passado. Travou?
No, so how would you say? Não tivemos tempo. Não temos tempo is we don't have time. Não
Não
tivemos.
tivemos. We don't have time.
Qual é o verbo que nós mudamos para o passado? Na negação.
Or have.
Well, no. No. Okay,
It doesn't.
so no, doesn't
Não.
é terceira pessoa singular no presente.
Não.
Nonato pode ajudar?
I didn't have time.
Tivemos não I.
No, we didn't have time.
There we go.
Didn't have time.
There we go. Good. Yes. So
we
remember,
didn't have time. No, I.
not
me.
I.
We, nós.
Nice. Yeah, good. So Laura, remember, we don't change when we have a negative or a question in the past. We don't change the main verb. We change the auxiliary verb. And we don't change to does. Does is present, but third person singular. Good. Okay, Glacy, is there another way to say não tivemos tempo?
Então, tô pensando aqui, mas não sai nada.
No,
Desculpa.
that's okay.
No.
So the one is we didn't have time. E acabou.
There's no time. No?
There's no time. Não há tempo. That works.
Não, mas
Yeah. So in the example that Laura and Nonato gave us, we didn't have time and that's over. Não deu. Não tem tempo. Não tivemos tempo. Não vai ter mais chance. Right? Mas se não tivemos tempo e ainda dá para fazer. Nós temos também o present perfect, quando ainda dá para fazer. Okay? So we haven't had time. We haven't had time, mas ainda dá. É o que nós chamamos de pé no passado, pé no presente. Ainda dá para fazer, mas até agora não tivemos tempo, é a ideia. Onde we didn't have time, acabou, perdeu o Playboy, não tem mais chance. Okay, we didn't have time. Sorry, I was going to make you a birthday cake, but we didn't have time. Eu ia fazer bolo de aniversário, mas não deu tempo. Onde aqui, até agora, so we need to make John a birthday cake, but we haven't had time. Não tivemos tempo até agora. Ainda dá a possibilidade. Go, Glass.
Teacher, na primeira frase não tinha que ter o ainda, porque tudo
Well, não precisa. Poderia
não
ser.
precisa,
Poderia
né?
ser. Yeah. Agora, pode colocar. Porque eu criei esse exemplo agora para ajudar com
Não,
isso.
é
Mas
ótimo,
poderia
porque
ser.
são dois iguais. Hã?
Porque se colocar ainda, daí já vai. We haven't had time yet. Mas nós vamos.
Tá certo.
Ok? O que eu queria evitar foi a ideia que nós vamos ter tempo. Talvez ainda não vamos, mas que a possibilidade existe, existe. We still have a chance in this sentence. We don't have any more chances in the second sentence. Let's talk about voltar. Você tem que voltar. You have to come back. Right? So come back, you have to come back to where I am. If I say you have to come back, then you have to come back to where I am. Nonato, have you been to Palmas?
Yes, I have
I have.
had in Palma. I have had in Palma.
No, I have been. Right? Had seria ter. Eu tenho tido Palmas. Não sei como ia ter Palmas.
Yes, I have been in Palmas.
Been. I have been in Palmas. Oh, been, oh, been. Yeah. Good. Okay. So I could say to you, then I could say, you have to come back. You have to come back to Palmas because I am in Palmas. And I say, I'm speaking and I say, you have to come back to Palmas. Okay. Now, I am not in Rio. Does everybody agree? I am not in Rio. Okay, so I'm not in Rio. So if I were to say that Nonato precisa voltar para o Rio, o que eu falo?
I am needed to come back to Rio.
Okay, but you can't. So, se lembra, come back é só onde o falante estiver. Então, o senhor não está no Rio, não pode falar come back to Rio. Tem que ser, se não, só pode falar I'm going to come back to Goiânia, porque está em Goiânia, right?
Okay.
So, se for qualquer outro lugar, tem que ser go back. Ir de volta e não vir de volta. So, if I talk about, if I say Nonato has to go back to Rio, or Nonato has to come back to Palmas because I am in Palmas. Jose, have you been to Goiânia?
Yes.
Yes,
I have.
okay, good. So Nonato could say, Jose has to come back to Goiânia, okay? Because Nonato is in Goiânia. But Nonato cannot say, Jose has to come back to Palmas, porque Nonato não está em Palmas. Teria que ser, Jose has to go back to Palmas, or to Rio, or to São Paulo, or to Curitiba, or to BH, or any other place. Seattle.
Então, I have to go back to Palmas.
Yeah. Qualquer cidade
To-
onde não estiver nesse momento, quando está falando.
I have to go back to Rio de Janeiro. I have to
Sure.
go. É só a construção da frase, está correto? I
Right.
have to go back to a cidade. I have to go
Right.
back to.
Não, qualquer lugar. Foi o que veio à mente.
I have to go.
So
I
tem,
have to go back.
just yeah, real fast, Glassy. So when we have go back, when it's voltar, go back or come back. Now, if you haven't been somewhere, like I haven't been to Goiânia, I could say I have to go to Goiânia, but I cannot say I have to go back to Goiânia because I have never been to Goiânia. Okay, so I cannot say I have to go back because I've never been there. Go ahead, Glass.
Não, mas eu só queria saber como que é a resposta curta quando tem present perfect, porque todo mundo responde yes, I have, but we can say yes, I do. Não, nada a ver.
No, yes, I have.
Ou não existe.
No, the short answer will always have the same auxiliary verb. So have you been to Goiânia? Yes, I have. No, I haven't.
Pode acabar com have e haven't?
Yeah, não são medrosos. Well, são medrosos. Se lembra, quando que have é medroso? Quando é possuir. Nós temos dois verbos diferentes. Tem o verbo forte, que não é possuir, que é um verbo auxiliar, e tem o verbo medroso, que é o verbo possuir, ter.
Só para ver se eu entendi o negócio do comeback, então eu só uso comeback se eu estiver me referindo a Curitiba, no meu caso. E pro restante é go back, né?
Isso,
Seria
se
isso.
for, se falar de cidades. Agora, se falar do Brasil, aí seria, pode ser qualquer cidade, se você se referir ao Brasil. Aí seria come back. Yeah, good question. So, another thing you can say, you have to come again, right? So, o que eu quero deixar claro é estamos começando a entrar mais e mais na coisa de não ter que traduzir ao pé da letra. Não vai mudar muito, não vai ser exatamente voltar se você falar come again. É vir novamente. Mas vai dar quase o mesmo sentido se você falar you have to come again, você tem que vir novamente, do que se você falar você tem que voltar. A ideia é a mesma. And that's lesson 37. That's all, folks. Any questions? Let me see.
Não, é porque eu fiquei na dúvida aqui.
Sure.
Quando eu digo I have to come back to Goiânia ou I have to come back, a preposição.
Come back to.
To, então tá correto, eu anotei correto. To.
Yep. Go back to, come back to. So when we talk, that's a good point, because when we talk about cities, we usually use to, right? So you said, I have been in Palmas, which it's not incorrect, but we usually say, I have been to Palmas. I have been to. When we talk about cities and going to cities, we usually use to instead of in. But it's possible to use in, but to is used more.
Mas cuidado, prof, porque se você fala I live em Curitiba, tem que ser o in daí, né?
Right, sem movimento, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Good point.
Mas a coisa é, quando é fronteira, é sempre in quando é fronteira. So, I live in, por exemplo, o meu bairro, nós usamos quadros aqui. So, I live in the 110 North Block. I live in Palmas. I live in Tocantins. I live in Brazil. So when we have borders, we use in. But if it's movement, then that changes. Yeah.
Então essa foi a lição 37, espero que você tenha gostado. Não esqueça de dar o seu like, nos ajudar. Se inscreva no canal se é a sua primeira vez aqui. Nós sempre temos essas lições onde nós passamos, geralmente ao vivo, essa vez nós editamos, mas sempre tem essas lições com essas turmas. E também nas segundas e quintas, às 19 horas, nós temos essas mesmas lições com a turma das Powerpuff Girls, que todo mundo está gostando, não perca essas lições também. E para ver tudo o que está acontecendo no mundo Aces de inglês, vá para acesenglish.online e você vai ficar dentro de todos os novos acontecimentos aqui na Aces. Agora você vai ver ao lado dois vídeos. O vídeo de cima vai ser a primeira parte dessa lição 37 e o vídeo de baixo vai ser um vídeo que o YouTube acha que você vai gostar. Também vai ter a chance de clicar na minha carinha e se inscrever aqui no canal. Até a próxima vez, eu sou o professor Willy. Keep studying and don't give up.